So the US State Department is reducing its diplomatic presence in Iraq. The move comes amid signs that nuclear talks between Iran and the United States may be deadlocked. President Donald Trump told a podcast that he has grown less confident about the prospects for a deal, and he later told reporters that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
They are being moved out because it could be a dangerous place, and we'll see what happens. But they are we've given notice to move out, and we'll see what happens.
Is there anything that can be done to dial the temperature down in the region?
They can't have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
Let us cross straight away to Alan Fisher, who's standing by for us in Washington, D.C. So, Alan, what do we read into this move and what Trump is saying?
So let's take a look at what's actually happened. As far as Iraq is concerned and the embassy in Baghdad, there is the evacuation of non-essential personnel. In other embassies in the region, particularly we're talking about Bahrain, Kuwait, and also the United Arab Emirates, there's a voluntary reduction in staff there. So if non-essential personnel and their families feel that they want to move away, then they can absolutely do that. This is all coming just a few days after Donald Trump diverted effectively his plane coming from Bedminster in New York. He was due to go to the White House, but he stopped off at Camp David. People were wondering what was going on there. That's because he was having a meeting with some military top brass. There we are told that they discussed what is happening with Iran. Now, we know that these discussions with Iran have been going on for a number of weeks. So there's two ways of looking at this. One, Donald Trump, who said on a podcast on Monday that he's less optimistic about a deal in Iran, and that's a slight change of tone from the president. And so he's taking precautions, worrying that there could be some sort of backlash, or it could be that this is just part of the pressure campaign on Iran, saying, look, we're moving people out. There's the possibility, as Donald Trump has said in the past, if we don't get a deal, then we're going to start bombing Iran. And that just puts a little bit more pressure on them to come up with some sort of deal when the two sides meet in Oman on Sunday.
What's the context of this in the sense of the last time the US issued voluntary departures in the Middle East?
Well, we've seen this sort of thing before. You know, it's happened in Yemen in 2023. We also saw it in Ukraine when there was the invasion there, that they effectively shut down the entire embassy. They closed down the entire embassy in Belarus. There's always been, though, this idea of partial evacuations, and it happened in Baghdad in 2019. You'll remember that after an Republican Guard commander was killed, there was concern from the United States that there could be attacks on the embassy there, led by Iranian-backed militia in Iraq. And so we've seen this sort of thing before. But certainly the comments from Donald Trump suggests that he is concerned. He said that they have to get out there. It could become a dangerous place. And we know that there have been discussions with the Israelis. The Israelis have, in the last few weeks, last couple of months, been very keen on a military strike on Iran and its nuclear facilities. We are told Donald Trump has held them back, saying, let's get the talks, let's see what happens there. He campaigned on no, what's in words, stupid wars in the Middle East. So he's not keen to see a battle there, but he has threatened Iran. And so it might just be that this is all part of the game, all part of the pressure on Iran to try and come up with some sort of solution. From the White House, we're getting mixed messages. On one side, they're saying no enriched uranium at all. Others have said, well, we might be able to work with some enriched uranium. Donald Trump, in the last couple of hours, making it clear the bottom line for the United States is no nuclear weapon. The Iranians have said they don't want one. So let's see how this plays out over the next couple of days. But clearly, what has happened in the last few hours with the partial evacuation of the embassy in Baghdad and others being told they can leave if they want to in other embassies around the Middle East, this changes the whole dynamic for the next couple of days.
Alan, thanks for that. Alan Fisher there in Washington, D.C.